2022 Stihl Timbersports series is in the books, and thought I would go ahead and do some video recaps on my thoughts on the individual events as I sit here in my bloody sauna trying to, get my head around everything that happened. So, here we go. First event that I did was the underhand on Friday to semifinals. I think I ended up placing like sixth or something like that, fifth or sixth. Decent cut, 23 seconds, nothing fantastic, nothing flash. Used the wrong axe. The axe was carrying on me, so, it was just a fair to middling cut for me. Good enough for that event.
Come on, Jamie. Get around. Get on it. Oh. Get it.
Second event was the stock saw on the semifinals, and that was a good cut for me. I think I ended up second or third. At some good points in the Timbersport series, so that'll get you well into the seat moving forward. So I will take that. Very pleased with that particular outcome.
Ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Third event was the standing block, and I think I cut 23 seconds, which ended up putting me like fifth or sixth, which was still good enough to advance to the second round, given the knockout round of the Timbersport series. As much as most people don't like the knockout rounds, it is what it is, and we do our best to accept it and move on, and that's what we have to deal with. So it was enough for me to move on. I think I was third, maybe fourth. After that, the top 8 advanced to the second round.
Athletes ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Come on, Jamie, move.
Number 1.
In and out, in and out.
West Coast, David Green on stand 2.
Hardcover Jr.
Come on.
Hang up the green, not wasting any time. Gets around the back green, an average golfer.
Come on, baby, drive it.
Just a real tough, sticky block on the back for green. There it is. Hardcover Jr. is going to take it off.
The next event was a single buck, best event of the day. I cut a 13.1, won it by almost a second against Matt Coger, Cassidy Shearer, et al. So that's as good as I can go. I'm pretty sure that the wood that we cut was different than what was in the other semifinal, which they cut faster. But three people cut faster. But given where Matt Coger cut, and he didn't really make mistakes, he swept off a little Chad at the very end. So I actually won that one fair and square, even though I had like five draggy pulls. But I'll take that any day of the week. Next event was a springboard. Holy shit, about died. A minute 33, 93 seconds. Wood was dry. My axe, I re-edged it beforehand. I thought it was okay, but I knew when I put it in the tree and the 4 hits didn't go where it was supposed to go, I knew that I was in trouble. And so the second pocket took like 10 or 11 hits, and the axe just would not cut the block at all. That thing is tired and needs to be retired or reground. So I'm going to get it reground and not use it again until next year. But but it still was enough for me to advance to the next round as third.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
In the finals, made 3 cuts. That's all that matters to me, and I ended up fourth in the pool, I think with like 43 points, which was drastically behind the first 3 finishers, which were Matt, Cassidy, and Nate. So, that's about all I can expect. Green light for the finals. And so, final day was Saturday, and the previous day I'd had about 8 minutes in the peak heart rate zone and about 4.5 hours in the cardio heart rate zone, and most of my adrenaline had been fatigued moving into that point. And before the competition actually began, I was involved in the segregation of the blocks, just so everyone understands, they bring 11 blocks, or no, they brought 13 logs to the finals. And myself, Maddie Slingerland, and Jason Lentz went out, and we segregated the logs we thought were different than the other blocks. And we eliminated them down to 3 in each pool. We kicked out the worst of those 3, and guess who drew 2 of those logs that we were contemplating kicking out? So I knew going into the underhand and standing that I was either going to be really, really good or shit. And so I went for it. I did it on both chops. And in the underhand, I think I ended up 5th, which is not bad for me. I think I cut it in 21, which is a decent cut for me. Matt cut it in 13, which was amazing. But, there was obviously 2 trees there. So I'll take that.
Athlete ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ben nicely out of North Carolina. The ageless one, Art Coder Jr. The right on stand number 2.
Well, I wasn't going to bring it up, Tommy, but since you did, let's talk about age. Art Coder Jr., one of our more veteran competitors, bet nicely. One of our youngest competitors.
Come on, baby.
Also very different swing styles, bet nicely. Long, lanky, big reach. Art Coder Jr., he'll admit it, he's not the tallest.
Second event, all me. I fucked up. I knew that I was going to have to go hard because of the potential for that standing block to be hard as a bull's forehead. So I went for the win. And had I made the 2 cuts in the time frame or in the 4 inches that was allotted, I would have been about 10-7, which would have been in the top 4, which would have given me enough points to advance to the second round of the finals, which is where I realistically can finish out. Maybe the top 6, bottom of that top 6 if I'm lucky, but I knew I know my limitations. But since I cut out, there's no way I can advance. And then the standing block turned out to be exactly what I thought it was, complete crap, and it took me all of 20 hits to cut it compared to other guys cutting it in 14, 15 seconds. What God's got me on that one. So that was 2021, and for me, for the Steel Series. And take it for what it's worth. The time and effort and energy is always worth it to me because I love training. Here I am for my 3rd workout of the day, sitting in my sauna, and my heart rate right now is in excess of 125 because I've been in here for in excess of 50 minutes. I enjoy it. This is my life. This is what I love. I love seeing what my body can do, even at the tender ripe age of the deer.
Timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Nicely, clearly ahead out of the start. Quick to the saw. Pivots it in. Oh, no trouble on stand 2. Art Coder is using an eraser and just a strong.